It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. Coming up next.
On the shores of Lake Erie here in the city of rock and roll. Our coverage of the NFL brings us to Huntington Bank Field. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Justin Hopkins out, ready to send this away. And off we go from Cleveland. Devin Duvernay to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out to former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. National champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A pickup there of 33 yards. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
Hey, forget about it. Forget first down. For a moment, they were thinking touchdown on that play. What a time to deliver a breakaway run. And that puts a ton of momentum on their side for the next snap.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Gets this one into the hands of Christian Kirk. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. On the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
2nd and 3. Escapes the pocket. And he breaks out the slide. Didn't want to take a hit, but he is just shy of the first down marker.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield. Get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
ETN on 3rd down. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. They go right back to ETN. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Hauled to the ground by Jordan Hicks. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Kirk in motion left. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Pass brought in by Parker Washington. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's a Jaguar first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
First down throw, Lawrence. Touchdown, Jacksonville. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Cam Little to try the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jaguars will jump out to a 7-0 lead. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. To return, Jerome Ford. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here are the Browns now, headed out for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder back in 2017, Deshaun Watson.
After winning the national title at Clemson and early success at Houston, there's no question that Deshaun's career has been slowed by some injuries and other challenges. But when he is on the field, at every level he's ever played, he's just got a calm. And that calm comes with the trusting of talent that he has in himself. He knows how to run, he knows how to throw, and when he's available, he's still a difference maker.
Now the first carry for Nick Chubb. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. From the gun, Watson. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Play action. It's Watson. Caught by the open man. And he's out of bounds after getting across the 45. It's a gain of 29 yards. And that gives the Browns a first.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They motion a receiver left. They give inside to Chubb. And he'll get him a handful on that run as we've reached the end of the first. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. We'll return to Huntington Bank Field after this. We're ready now for the second quarter. Browns in control of it. They start out with a 2nd and 3. Here's Jerome Ford for the first time this game. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Here's Chubb up the middle. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Pass is caught at the 9. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Shotgun snap, a gift to Ford. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in a locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
Another one for Ford. And he runs it inside the 10 to the 9. About 4 yards for him on that run. More distance than that left, though, on 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Watson has it, 3rd and goal. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the pressure drives them backwards. So it's the 2-minute warning here from Cleveland. The Browns in position to attempt a field goal. So the Browns are going to kick the field goal on 4th down. Dustin Hopkins on for the attempt. Ball on the right hash for this 36-yard look. Carlson's kick is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Here's Duvernay on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Jaguars and Christian Kirk headed back onto the field. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free, incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And it sets up 2nd down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Give them 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Escapes a defender. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. The Jaguars are going to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Second and 3 now. From the shotgun, Lawrence. The throw finds Evan Ingram. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Lawrence throwing here. He's on the move. He'll step up, and there he goes. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. They're set up at the 35 now. Lawrence to throw it. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greg Newsome has it. And the Browns get the football on the first turnover of the contest. And just like that, a really good drive is taken away with an INT.
Sure was a lot of promise on that series, right?
Yeah.
That's a small silver lining for them at the very least, but probably won't be much comfort now. And it's going to feel even worse when this quarterback watches the tape tomorrow.
Onto the field comes the Browns offense for the second time. And with all their timeouts remaining, Brock, they may be able to put a little something together here before halftime. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Watson. Jerry Jeudy with the grab. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 46. Into the hands of Tillman, complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Cleveland! The Browns take the lead just before halftime. It's a Jerry Jeudy touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
On comes Dustin Hopkins to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns push their lead to 3. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, snap and a quick kneel down, and the final few seconds are going to lapse here in our first half. So it's halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top at the break. Now it's down to Florida where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, sit tight. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But for now, this is our halftime report. We just watched a strong first half from quarterback Deshaun Watson. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Browns have the football first to start the third, and here comes their offense. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Throw reeled in by Njoku. And he gets him around 6 there. It was Andre Sisco who hauled him down there.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 34. That one complete to Njoku. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's good for a Cleveland first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Here's Watson, 1st and 10. And he takes it across midfield and into Jaguars territory.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Sticking to the air with Watson. Makes the connection. Here's Jerome Ford. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a massive 35-yard pickup, first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. From the gun, it's Ford. Brushes him off with ease. And he found a little room to turn it into a nice gain down to the 6. 7 yards on the carry. Now they've got 3rd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
3rd and short, it's Watson. Escapes the pocket. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. The Browns grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Nick Chubb touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
On is Hopkins for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Browns make it a 10-point ball game. Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. Here's Duvernay on the return. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. Their work really cut out for him now, partner, to follow up that touchdown and get things back to a 1-score game. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah there to bring him down. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. ETN again. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Jaguars football. They trail, but it's still within reach. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Throwing from the gun here. That's caught for the 1st. And he got this close to midfield before going out. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Not that he needed to, but he'll always try and remind people that he's a threat running it, in addition to slinging it all over the field.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 42. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
From the gun, ETN gets it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
3rd and inches, and you hate to see that run go backwards. I just take myself back to a huddle, and you know you're imploring your guys, listen, just give us a little bit of a push, and we will move the sticks. Instead, well, the defense is energized with that stop.
Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. They're going to try with ETN. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
4th down, pressure on him. He was not backing down for a second. Nice effort to carry the rock. More importantly for his offense to get a 1st down.
Offense in the hurry up here. 1st down throw, Lawrence. Connection made, Travis Etienne. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Out of the gun, Lawrence. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And they take him down right along the 30. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their 1st sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball, and they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Cleveland. Jaguars got to score in a hurry. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Throwing now. Completed to his running back. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Working inside the red zone. Cut near the goal line. And he's going to be marked down a yard shy of that marker.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up. A timeout taken by Jacksonville. It's second. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on third down. Here he is to throw. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. Denzel Ward makes the play.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back, because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And as that defense comes off the field clean, making the stop, Brock, they've got to feel that they're just moments away from this victory.
Yeah, the odds would tell you that. Certainly a two-possession lead this late ought to do it, but crazy things happen in this league every week. So don't go taking that jersey off until your offense hopefully runs out the clock.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee. Now a timeout called by the Jaguars. That's their third. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Lining up to take a knee on second down. Browns just kneeling out the clock in this victory now.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Setting up for the kneel down on third. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
The Browns looking to punt on fourth down, so on comes their southpaw, Corey Bojorquez, to handle it. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. His work begins at the 31. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. So to a chorus of bucks from the dog pound, the Browns take the win at home. And save for a few moments in that opening quarter, Brock, they pitched a shutout defensively that in the end was the impetus for the victory. They're going to be bummed not to have that goose egg on the board at the end of this one, no doubt, but a performance to be lauded nonetheless. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a well-earned win for the Browns, as with that, we'll sign off from Cleveland.